workers issue, management can say anything to you, management can dismiss you. So when I left local air, when we went to Zimbabwe for the collective bargaining agreement, it was the best thing to do. The workers are there, there will be workplace representative, the national union will be outside the plan, so you can be able to discuss, get on the table to discuss with management and bargaining with management for your workers.
Let me ask you, Madam Doe, what is the requirement in line with your constitution? What is the requirement to serve as Door Workers Union President?
The requirement to serve as Door Workers Union President, you should be the former employee of National Port.
Former employee, but you were not former employee.
Listen to me, that why at that time, I want to explain to you, at that time, we were playing union, right? So after the organizing and reorganizing, that brought we did federal election. You understand? Yeah. So check in the Republic of Liberia, even the whole world. The national president, you can even the letter I got here, you can see it, you can read this letter. The one I brought out the document. You're not supposed to be working with the entity.
But then I'm coming now. I'm coming. Then who do you represent? Let's assume you are not an employer of the entity. How can't you be, president of the entity workers union?
Yes. That the reason I'm saying to you, when we went to Geneva, the people came here, they spent a lot of money, international partner, with the Ministry of Labor. They're organizing and reorganizing so we can be on the path with other countries around the world. So you don't have to be in the employ of a national port authority or.
So who do you represent? Let's assume, because my question is, let's assume you. Let me not draw the analogy, so they can say, oh, maybe the guy is trying to. But the thing is, how can you serve us? Representative of a body, of a working body, of a group of workers, when you are not in the employ, you don't associate with them.
You don't have to be in the employ as a national union. The Decent Work Act call for it. That's why I brought the document for you to go through it. The Decent Work Act call for it. You don't have to be in the employ of an entity before you can be the bargaining agent. Freedom of association, the convention call for it. Once the people decide that you should be the bargaining agent, and they vote for you to be the bargaining agent, you can be the bargaining agent.
So yesterday was good for you. You were in the employ of the Dog Workers Union, of the National Port Authority, when you were serving as president of the Dog Workers Union. Now today you are not in the employ.
I didn't even start as president for the Dog Workers Union.
Okay.
I started as shop steward. You don't just get on and say today I'm president. No. I started as shop steward. From shop steward, I went to acting secretary general. From acting secretary general, I went to acting president when Juma resigned. You understand? So I didn't just get out in the morning and say,
so the question again I'm asking
president of Dog Workers Union.
Madam Doe, the question I'm asking you, who do you represent?
I represent the workers.
How possible is it that you represent the workers when you're not in the employ of the
You don't have to be in the employ. Someone just got it right.
Okay, let me talk to this.
You don't have to be in the employ.
Maybe he's your secretary. Good morning.
Good morning.
What role are you playing here? In what capacity?
I am the chairman for APN Terminal Workers Doe Local Number 2. Let's get this.
What is the APN Terminal Doe Workers Number 2? What is it?
Okay, let me get you through. Doe Workers Union have, President in Monrovia have 3 shops. APM Terminal, which is local number 2.
Those who are employed by APM Terminals?
Yes.
Okay. But working within the port?
Yes, working within the port.
Okay.
We have APM Terminal local number 2. We have MPA, the guys that came here claiming to be Doe.
Employed by the MPA?
Yes, they are local number 1. Then we have the stackers, the guys that are in the warehouse, who work in the vessel, they are number 3. The reason Madam President was saying the organizing, right? This brought in an independent body in the union setup. Whereas the mother union, there are certain things that Ahu in the employ cannot say to my management. But she can say it because she's not in the employ. Okay? She controls local number 1, local number 2, and number 3. We report to her. When there's an issue.
How that possible?
Yes, that's it. That's organizing and reorganizing. It's all over the world, right? Who's sitting here as a chairman of local number 2.
Why do you report to her?
We report.
She's not in the employ of the MPA anymore.
That's the goodness of it.
She's not employed with APN Terminal.
Yes.
So why do you report to her?
We report to her when there's a CBA, right? We have a working tools. We call it CBA. the collective bargaining agreement. That is what the worker want, what the management have. We go on the table. Sometimes we take about 2-3 months to discuss the issue. Benefit that workers will get. On that table, she is the mother union. She controls all of us. We report to her. On that table, she will be there. The MD of the entity will be there. The chairman, which is the workers on the shop CEO who is there, that is me. We will be on the table. We will tell her, say, madam, this is what we want. This is what we want. She will intend put that on the table. She also work with the international because the union in Liberia also have a parent body, OC, right, which is RTF. She report directly to RTF. She is the current regional chair for DACOS, that is Port Workers in West Africa. She serves as a chair. So we report to her when there's a crucial issue, benefit that we want and management is not doing, we relate to her. She relate to the international relate with what? The international company to their head office. That's a chain.
So let's get it right.
Yeah.
Before she was serving at the Freeport of Monrovia, that chain was not in existence.
Yes, because we're dealing with the old labor law, right? But now we have a new labor law that came in place, 2015, right? Talking about the organizing, de-organizing, that every union have to have their parent body. Every union in this country, every local union have to have their parent body. The parent body is the one, when there's any issue, you run to your parent body. Your parent body go to what? Labor Congress, Labor Ministry. This is the chain.
Now, so how do you refer Sheriff and his leadership? How do you refer to them?
They are supposed to be local number one. But unfortunately, they did not go through election. The then MD...
Are you sure that they didn't go through
There
election?
was no election. The records are there. The then MD, Bray Traore, took them and said, you guys sit here and you put out the worker. And imagine, trade union is a democratic institution. You cannot just speak about it. Even if it is the president can just speak about it and say, sit here, you are the head for the workers. No, it does not work like that. The so-called election they talk about there, injunction were put on that election from the court. And when the court lifted the injunction, they should have gone back and have the election. But they refused because Bray Traore said he eat with the president. Let's
move Bill
no,
Traore.
that's the
Like
chain.
you were there, like
No,
a cheat.
no, the thing
That's
is,
a cheat.
listen.
He wanted those that
the
created
reason
this
why,
problem.
the reason why I'm saying let's remove Bill Traore issue from there. He's not here to respond to what you are saying now.
Yeah.
He can't react to you because he's not currently here. So the thing is, the question I'm asking, how do you refer to them now? The sheriff and his leadership.
They are not workers representative at MPA.
They are not workers representatives?
No, they are not. That's a background giving what happened, what brought them there, right? You cannot pick people.
So the workers do not know them?
No, they are employees. The workers know them as employees, but the workers do not know them that they are legitimate leaders that represent the people of MPA. And currently,
but how do you respond to the court's ruling? Because they went to court, I'm sure on your lawsuit, they went to court, and the court said, well, we grant you the authority to operate. How do you respond?
No, the court did not say they should operate, right?
Okay.
There was a process ongoing, and there was an injunction placed on that process. If an injunction is lifted on a particular process, that means you have to continue. You have to go back to that process, right? Which were not done, right? Which were not done. They just went ahead and say, well, they have inauguration. You can't do that. Trade union is a democratic institution. We should follow the norms. The local and international norms we should follow. Our international people are laughing at us. Why should we do this to Liberia?
Okay, let me hear from you, Chief. What's your name?
So, my name is... Sorry, thank you. My name is Prince Leo Pombo, and I'm the...
Madam Jackie Doe brought three strong and strong men in the studio.
Good that you know that we are strong.
I know.
So my name is Prince Leo Pombo. I'm the Deputy Secretary General of Liberia Labour Congress.
Able-bodied men too, can you imagine that?
We are.
I know.
So especially able-bodied men and women for the workers of Liberia, the war at large. So to just set the basic right concerning what the Madam President was saying,
So you call her Madam President?
She's a president. She's the national president. Beside her international position, she's the national president general that the Labour Congress recognized.
But it seems that you're trying to just perpetuate yourself in power, Madam Doe.
So no,
You don't want to leave power.
That is another thing. Let come back. Let's come back to the discussion. So the Dot Workers Union is an affiliate. It's one of the affiliates of Liberia Labour Congress. Now, the Decent Work Act 2015, right, call for a legal representation of workers that shall be the full bargaining agent, and that is the national union. You know, EFBC should have a workers union, and if you have your people organized here, you are not just a national union, you are a plenty union. So I know some of the history of EFBC workers union and activity. So all of those in leadership, you are workplace representative. I know you know about Bruce Topa and other people who help to organize this place. Now, Wallace and Brooks and New Hayes and all those people, they are not within the employ of EFBC. Now, besides my position at the Liberia Labour Congress, I am the Secretary General of the Immaculate Financial Sector and Communication Workers of Liberia. I'm not employed. I'm not in the employ of any banking institution or insurance company or telecommunication company, but we duly represent them as a legal agent and sole collective bargaining in compliance with the Decent Work Act. And this is how it's supposed to be. So coming to the issue of dot workers, Liberia Labour Congress have on her plate, right, all of the document, because there are requirements that a particular union, right, should meet before becoming a member. We have perused that. We look at the revised constitution. If you look at dot workers constitution, right, they say before you take up any national leadership position, you must have the issue of neutrality. So it means that you should not be in the employ of a particular entity. You should be outside of it. You don't even have to be a former worker. I look at the constitution. In fact, if it is my office, right, that is responsible for worker certificate and everything. I am the deputy secretary for operation. So all those files are on book, they are on record, right? So if you look at dot workers constitution, it says that you must be independent. So take, for example, if Sherry is legal, right? If Mr. Nangwe here or any of us here within the employ of MPA and wanting to take up national leadership position instead of sharp steward or workers representation, it means that I must have resigned from my position, go for convention and be duly elected.
So in another word, you are saying that for you to serve as president of the workers union, you should resign. You shouldn't be in the employ of the institution.
Almost, yeah. If you look at the best practice in Liberia, all of the unions, right, that are members or affiliate of the Liberia Labour Congress, I don't know of one that is in my office, right, that within the employ of a particular entity and is a secretary general or a president general in a national leadership position.
So then, how do you represent those who are in the employ of the institution?
The way we represent them, the Decent Work Act says that you should have a parent body, that is a mother union. The workplace herself don't have a union. You have workplace representation. So those representatives, they say per this number you should have this number of representation. Then we as a national union, right, go ahead to do our organizing. Now, if you do the organizing, it means that you can represent those people. So those people, right, becomes your local. This is why you hear anything, local number 1, number 2, and all of those things. At other places, you say plant or sharp. Now, just to come a little bit to before Mr. Nangwe, Chief Nangwe come in, to come a little bit with the MPA thing, right? When the process was ongoing, in fact, before you have a workplace representative election, you must have had the Ministry of Labor who will serve as an observer. You should have the Liberia Labour Congress from the worker perspective that will also serve as an observer. That was not done. During the process, right, there was injunction placed on it. So when the injunction was placed, right, I think it was about 4 months or so, right? And then the court came back, right, to lift up the injunction. So it means that the process now should go ahead. If those guys were here yesterday, if you have election, you had election, ask them for the tallying sheet. How many persons participated in election? Now, in our possession, right, we have 99.9% of the workers at the APN terminal that demand election. In fact, my office yesterday, right, have issued a letter for to the National Port Authority, to the acting managing director for a workplace election. You understand it? We have CC Cape, the workers. We have CC Cape, the Ministry of Labor. You understand it? So if you have had it, who conducted the election? How many workers participated? When were it conducted? And all of those things. These are things. Leadership for trade union organization as best practice anywhere around the world is not implemented. You have freedom of association and the right to collective bargaining. Article 87 and 98, Convention 87 and 98 of the International ILO Geneva Convention that Liberia is a signatory and a founding member of. So these things we should learn to do it. But I think there are people within government, it's not the total government, right, that think that for workers to be a weakling, right, they will keep up fragile. So this is how they will play the double standards to ensure that the workplace is fragmented, so you don't have workers speaking with a single voice. And this we think is wrong as a gross interference, a broad day interference.
Okay, let's hear from Mr. Nambwe. Mr. Nambwe, let's hear from you. Your full name, if
Thank you very much. My full name is George N. Nambwe Senior.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Which of the workers' union are you associated with?
I'm from the National Port Authority.
Okay. From the Port Authority?
Yeah.
And you are still in the Port Authority?
The nuclear of the whole issue that we are on here.
Are you still in the employer?
I'm still there.
Okay.
Let me give you.
You are still there and associating with somebody who was been under the post 3 years ago?
I'm still there. I'm still a full employee of the National Port Authority.
Okay.
Somebody, let me give you a little genesis of what happened here. The previous speaker said something. He said, Shuru, there is no way that you can dismarry Honorable Trouble from this thing. He is the main cause of this. I'm the judge and I'm the senior that the entire West 4-1.
They won you?
Yes.
Won you for what?
In my absence, you have election and win 39%. Oh, man. Let me tell you something.
I don't understand this. They want you now. They don't want Sharif. Is that what you're saying?
Those guys that came here.
So where were you when the election was held and elected Sharif?
This is what I'm coming to. Election was not held, as the previous speaker said. You know, it too disheartening and sad to see our young people that are yearning for future leadership tomorrow to evolve in criminality. Honorable Towick put in mess. Yeah, he left the mess there before he left. So there is no way that you can dismarry him. I'm the Nambwe. Before we go to the election, they told us to apply. I will give you document here. Please pass it on to him. I am a 1988 graduate of the E. Geneto High School. We graduated. After the war, after the disarmament, before you enter the war of the National Police Training Academy, you must produce your high school document. If you were in graduate, they will go and check on mail. The certificate you see then is my International Industrial Police Certificate that the diploma gave it to me. Bill Tuawe, Honorable Bill Tuawe, you know the Bible says, what goes around comes around.
No, we are not discussing. Listen,
Let's
get this set. No, Akame.
Yeah.
We are not discussing Honorable Bill Tuawe here. The
We are not
thing
discussing
is,
him, but it's related to the issue.
No, the thing is, we are discussing why do we have two individuals, different groups, claiming leadership at the Dock Workers Union. That's the discussion.
This is what I'm coming to. Those guys that came, they are thieves, they are criminal. When we were going to the election, I was disqualified based on this.
You are disqualified?
Yeah, they said I'm not a high school graduate. That's why the document that I provided. That's how we wrote the Mother Union president, Mother Jackie.
So you want to admit that election was held?
No. That's what I'm coming to. No, election was not held. So when we wrote our complaint, that how she issued, even they wanted to organize the election unknown to Labour Ministry, Labour Congress, and the President General. That how she issued the writ of injunction on the election. We spent 4 months at the Civil Law Court under John P. Bally. The election was halted. After that ruling, after the court proceeding, the ruling was given and the injunction thereof was lifted. They refused. Honorable Thomas said, honor his dead body. On his dead body. Number will not be seated. We don't want the election. The 10% that were allowed when the rate arrived and order the election commission chair not to receive the rate because the election commission chair, Philip Mumba, and his deputy, that Ted Barry that was beside Sherry, he was the co-chair to the election commission. Do you know what that position is serving now? Elected position, director of work on education. They don't put him there. Then you say we should talk about bedroom away.
No, the thing is, are coming. We are not. I'm saying it again.
Yeah.
That we are not discussing whether you were to partake in elections or whether you were not to partake in elections, whether they disqualified you because your documents were not correct, or whether your documents were correct and they disqualified you. The thing is now. Let me hear from you, Madam President. You've been serving as Dock Workers Union president for how many years now?
For let's say 3 years. I was elected before the December I came. I was elected because I was acting. Then we went for the election. When we went for the election, I won the election. Let's say 3 years. So when the December I came, when we did the organizing, reorganizing, we went there. All the workers took part in it. So they asked me to conduct this election for Vera. After I have conducted the election, the workplace representative election, because once you go in outside, when you conduct the workplace representative election, those guys, the people will vote for you. So I did the election, I conducted the election, everything. Time for us to go, we conducted the ABN Terminal election too. We conducted the Restarkers election. Time for us to go for convention. Or all to go for convention. The international road I should go represent the government. So when I went to represent the government, I was there. But before leaving, Celia at that time, Cecil Coffee Brown, she asked me to do something. She said we should Dock Workers Union, the power business should go write the president that they should be her managing director. So when they said it, when they came to me,
you say, Madam Cecil Coffee Brown.
Yeah, at that time.
She said you should write.
Yeah, we should go and hold placard. Because in brother, I cannot thing to do.
No, but
so, listen to me now. That place they coming from.
Okay.
Listen to me, someone. Yeah, because you see the thing when you hold road, hold forest. That is when people call me to the talk show and thing. I don't like to come to the talk show because when you hold road, hold forest, and you're not certain thing there, you have to look at the root cause. If you are done conflict and resolution, you got to look at the root cause. You can't just get up, go on top of it. So that what happened? So when she said it, I said I was not doing it. So when I left, they used the safe there to hold the placard. So when I came, they were a workplace representative. So when I saw the press conference, I asked them who did it under my signature. The sheet that was there, he said, Preso, we don't know. I left, I went to Macron. I said, Macron, who did this? Macron said, I don't know. So I issued my own press statement that the Dock Workers Union is not part of it. Dock Workers Union don't know anything
so
about it.
So you've been fighting for long?
From the day I was born.
From the day you were born?
Yeah.
You've been fighting?
Yeah. To make the country to go in front, not to go backward. So
you're a fighter?
I'm more than a fighter, sir. The trade union movement fighter. So when I issued the press release, she fired me. When she fired me...
Oh, it was when you were fired?
Oh, yeah, she fired me. So when she fired me, it didn't bother me.
So 3 years ago you were fired?
Yeah, listen to me, it didn't bother me because I know my capability and I know what I can do. I don't have to... This is my country. Nobody can suffer me in this country. I ain't even talking about Ghana, our country, my own country. Nobody can suffer me here. So what I did, I went to the Ministry of Labor and the international came. When we had an international conference, the president was there. The president asked them they should reinstate me. The president told them to reinstate me. I should go back to where they should pay me all my benefit. Our own team Polita. So we went there. When we went there, people told them, you reinstate the woman and pay her all her benefit. When I got to the HR, the controller, he started playing. I should waive the benefit and be re-employed. I said, waive my benefit. Then he will re-employ me. Okay. All right. I tell you, thank you. I left. After 3, 4, 5 months, people called me. I went there. People said, why you not working? I said, you told me to go to the HR for them to give my benefit and reinstate me. But they told me to waive my benefit. And I can't waive the benefit because I'm still working. From this letter that in my hand, I'm fine concerned. I still working with National Port Authority. Because from the letter, this letter, the Republic of Liberia, the president, Dr. George Manuel Weah, He mandated him. Then he brought a body. Then he said, I'm working. I said, working. I'm fine, concerned. I still working.
So you're still in the employ of
I stay in the
But are you taking pay?
They're packing the money. So
They're packing the money?
They're packing that money. They will get my money because I work for A. I labor for A. The trade your moment is not a black belt and something that you can just take it by
So
yourself.
23 years you were out. How were you managing that?
I was still managing, but I organized APN terminal. I organized the restackers. The restacker first in the history since Liberia of Fonda. I signed the first collective bargaining. 20 men will divide 2,000 liberty. But check it out now. Go and check it. The records are there. When they go home about within 2 weeks, so when they carry 400, 300.
United States dollars.
Yes.
Now-
Now what I did for, you can be, you say I'm impersonating. Okay, I agree. I'm impersonating to do the right thing for this country.
So who are your code of officers?
My code of, my SG gone, my SG is in, he gone America.
Your SG?
Yes, he gone America.
Who your SG?
Ramsey Car. The Director of Worker Education, we have 2 training. The Director of Workers Education.
So only SG you got?
No, I
Your whole leadership?
And I'm
Okay.
telling you,
Okay.
the Director of Workers Education, and the treasurer and the assistant SG, I told him our international partner here, right? Yeah. So I told them to go.
So
The
you use
workers
that,
asked-
you use your time serving as a president of the workers, to solidify your connection with the international partners.
No, you can't say that.
No, I'm just asking.
No, you
I'm not
can't
saying
say
that.
Trade union leaders, we
the
are
trade union,
interna- we are
we
global
trade,
citizens.
the trade union movement, the trade union movement. That in Liberia take care, the people take care for joke, but other country, the trade union movement, you just get to them and just talk to them any kind of way. They are there for the workers.
We are global citizens.
We are global citizens, so the RTF, our international partner. Once you say you are trade union movement, you are trade union leader, you got to be affiliating or
International body.
No, let me ask you,
body.
Madam
That will be-
Doe,
Hey,
Madam
give me a break, please.
Yes.